Welcome to the F1 Show podcast. I'm your host for the most, Wayne, and this is the man in the pits who has not got the squits. Brendan, everybody, give him a round of applause.
Back on solid, thank you very much.
Back on solid, look at that. That's it. How are you, sir? You're looking very good. You're
I'm feeling a little better than I was last week. I apologize to everyone that tuned in for a full-length version and got a short one.
One of them. Apology. We apologise profusely. That we were all ill. It was just been such a.
It was unpleasant. It was
difficult times.
It was good that it coincided with each other, so it was only 1 week lost to two illnesses rather than 2 weeks lost to two individual illnesses.
That's it, and
we're in sync, Queen. I think
we're in sync. What, like ladies who know when they're.
Let's just crack on.
Let's crack on with the news, shall we? Let's crack on with the news. Okay, so let's first of all. Let's share screen. Let's get screen. Just got 2. Tell me if you can see the news PowerPoint. Can you see that, sir?
Yes, I can.
Okay. We'll start the news music, even though you can't see it. I can hear it. Here we go. Start the music now. Okay, in the F1 Show news today, Carlos Sainz commented on the team radio after the French Grand Prix this weekend. When questioned about the fact that the team called him while he was overtaking, Carlos stated that he is always happy to receive a call from the team. Other times they have called him have been whilst wrestling with a bear, whilst juggling machetes, or even whilst in the bedroom while he's inserting himself to his girlfriend. Although he did confess that calling out box, box, box may not be appropriate.
I thought phoning them when he was starting a barbecue might have been one of them.
Yes. Okay. Mercedes have announced they are happy with their progress of Formula E and F2 champion Nick De Vries, but they have expressed doubt about his future in Formula 1 because of his silly name. A suggested name rewrite using the same letters has been offered, and these included Skivvy Discern, no, Ven's Crikey, or even Seven Cry Kid. I quite like Seven Cry Kid. No, all names have been rejected along with his F1C. Okay, forget that. Okay, confusion reigned in the driver's pen after this weekend's French Grand Prix, as it was revealed that one of the drivers was actually Shaun Ryder from the 90s band Happy Mondays. Pundits were perplexed, as Shaun stated when asked about his race, that he got golden plans, I tell you. Gonna stamp out your fire, he can change your desire. And when asked how the race went, he just screamed, "You're twisting my melons, man, call the cops." Valtteri Bottas is currently being discovered on tour with the Gorillas. Thank you.
I like that one.
And finally, after an average race to 7th place in this Sunday's Grand Prix, McLaren driver Lando Norris was quick to find out what was slowing him down. Whilst looking at his car in Parc Fermé, he found none other than Nikita Mazepin jammed under the front of his car. After much argument, Norris conceded that it could have been worse, and it could have been Daniel Ricciardo. Mazepin claimed unsuccessfully that this is his first finished points in Formula 1. And that concludes the news this week, everybody. Thank you all. Thank you all. Good old Nicky. Where is the piano music? There we go. Nicky, poor Nicky. There we go. Let's stop sharing that screen now. You don't want to see all this mess on here. We'll play that. And we talk about the race, don't we? We're going to talk about the race. I can't find my Zoom meeting now. Where's that gone? Are you still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Stop sharing. That's it. It's up there. Oh my God, that's loud. That's really loud. Let's turn that down. Stop. Okay, what did you think of the race, sir? Yeah, it was a bit like that. That's what I felt.
Yeah, I kind of napped for a bit. I'm not going to lie. It was quite. There was some exciting parts, but I did nap for a while.
What should we do first? Good race, bad race, or should we just go straight into pit talk? They seem to amalgamate into one anyway, don't they?
Yeah, let's do good race, bad race. Now we can talk about the tech stuff.
Okay. Oh, you've got tech stuff to talk. Okay.
Well, a little bit.
Are you leaning back? You're very reclined today.
I'm not in my usual seat. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, let's have good race, bad race.
Steering wheel, somebody tell him to give it to me. Come on, move.
There we go. There's the graphics for good race, bad race. Who had a good race?
No.
Let's just make this clear. A good race, not necessarily good luck. A good race.
The Ferraris did really well until until Charles.
Did they do well?
Oh, come on, Carlos did really well. They had a really fast car.
Yeah.
They had a really fast car, and he was driving it really well until he stoofed it into the wall.
Yeah, that is just terrible. That was just terrible, though, wasn't it? That is literally, and he said it himself. And there was a lot of chit chat about, was it the throttle? Was it the throttle? And actually, what he was actually screaming for, he couldn't get the throttle on because he wanted to get out the wall, apparently. Yeah. And I think his scream said it all.
There's some imagery of him taken by a fan on a phone from behind that barrier.
Yeah.
It showed him getting out of the car. It showed him trying to be consoled by the marshals, who were obviously trying to take him away. It showed him in the marshals' caboose while he's waiting for the bike to come. He takes his helmet off, and you see him. He's really upset, man. He was just
because he knew it was him. He knew it was him.
100%. But then, as somebody
scream
said,
though, I've never heard a scream like. It's like I would. It reminded me of the Vettel crash when he did it. He was just so annoyed with himself, and that was in the rain. He had an excuse.
But it'll be interesting to see.
What are you doing there? It's like you're porpoising.
It'll be interesting to see if there's any back up to what Mercedes former driver beat Lewis Hamilton. What's his name?
What?
Nico Rosberg, right? Nico Rosberg was commentating and said that.
Yeah, he's not allowed back, isn't he? He's one of the unvaccinated. He's not allowed at the races now.
Not allowed anywhere. But he said that Charles was a bit quick to volunteer blame or fault, and that he should have looked at the telemetry. It's a windy circuit. It's an exposed circuit. There could have been a tailwind, but I think down deep in your heart, you know if you've screwed up, and I think he knew he'd screwed up. Whether he could have held it or what it was, it made him. I mean, he just drove off. He just wiggled and drove off.
Yeah, just lost the back end of it.
Yeah.
I did feel for him. I really did. That scream though, that just showed you.
That was painful, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And Verstappen, even like usually Verstappen's like, woohoo, what a great race, you know. Yeah. You could tell he don't want to win it that way. No one wants to win a race that way.
Didn't win the race, did he? It was Charles lost the race.
Yeah.
And Max came in second. It just happened to be that Charles went off first, and he finished the race. You know.
Yeah, because
he wasn't under pressure.
Let's be honest. Leclerc had control. Leclerc's acting a little bit like Carlos was a few races ago. It's like he's lost his mojo now. It's like,
and this is a point somebody made about Max Verstappen, that he's now, because he's got that monkey off his back, he's won his first world championship. He's a bit more relaxed. He knows he doesn't need to be gunning it round corners and making mistakes like Charles did. He can just take it easy and get on the podium and be in the right place when the guy in front of him makes a mistake.
Yeah,
you know, And he's a lot more chilled. He's a lot less aggressive. He knows that it will come to him if he's patient, and he's learned that now. So it's yeah. I think that's that culture of winning again.
Lewis Hamilton, good race again. Good race. He's just, and I just like Lewis Hamilton at the moment. He's just so cool. There was a great picture in the media. I don't know if you saw. He tweeted it out. He was playing. What one was it? I was going to try and make a joke out of it, but I can't make a joke out of anything these days. But he was playing a Monaco Grand Prix. Yeah, an old Sega game. And it was just, there's something just relaxed about this dude now. And I don't know. He's really working with the team. I don't know. I like that team. I like this Lewis.
Yeah.
I just do. And the whole team are working really hard. They know they're not there. I think they're going to get you're all over the show. I think they're going to get themselves a win before the end of the year. I really hope they do. I really hope.
I think there was a bit of sandbagging going on. I think they realise now that they've got a fast car to end up second and third. That was good going. They're back in the mix now.
They're only 10 seconds behind Verstappen.
Yeah, only. But I think there's aero gains.
You've got to take into account pit strategies and tyres and things like that. That's not far. That's not
I think the porpoising was such a big issue. They couldn't focus on anything else. So now they can start working on tweaking all the little things and getting a 10th here and a 10th there. Yeah. Now that they know what the setup is, and then they'll get there. I think that I totally agree. There's a win in that car.
I'm hoping it's a proper win as well, not like the usual barbecue of a Ferrari.
Yeah, spins off or something. Yeah.
And Russell, another solid performance. Both of them on the podium, which was nice.
Yep.
And Perezs.
Perezs did a solid race apart from getting overtaken by George at the restart.
Yeah, what was that all about? It's about when you're accelerating, isn't it? It's about that point where you're accelerating or you're decelerating to reach a certain point. And if you're decelerating because you're going a bit too fast, and the guy behind's accelerating and it goes green, you're in big trouble.
I think the teamwork was shown there. I think Mercedes are a little bit hungrier. They want they were on it. They were like, right, okay, if you accelerate this many seconds, we're getting a countdown to the VSC being removed. If you start accelerating, you'll keep the delta the same, but you'll have the jump on Sergio. And I think Red Bull team let him down there because those mirrors are tiny. You don't know how far he is behind you. You don't know what the delta is to the guy. Yeah. You know what it is. You can kind of see it, but you don't know when he's going to get the jump on you. But he should have known the countdown better. He should have been accelerating by that point as well.
Yeah. Sainz, what do we think of Sainz's race? Great for him.
Yeah, from coming from behind. I mean, I always think that's a good mark of a good racer to be able to. You might be in a good car, but you've got to get it past people.
Let's talk about this team now. The strategy.
They lost it again, didn't they? Box. As he's overtaken, as he's passing the entrance to the pit lane, and he's overtaking someone, and they're telling him to box.
And I looked at Jolene Palmer's analysis as well. He said, "Well, why are they bringing him in? What was the point in that? He was overtaken. He had track position. It was 5 seconds he was owed. It was like so many laps left. Just go for it.
Which was Carlos's point, but the team's point.
There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of the drivers just going, well, no, well, why, no. And then when you get them in the paddock at the end, it's like, well, I didn't see the four of you, and they spout the team,
what
BS.
But I wouldn't say it was BS. I mean, you've got so the team's point of view was that his tires were degrading, and if they'd got him in at that point, they figured out that the benefit that the new tires would have brought him, he'd have been able to make up the places, right?
Right.
So he basically, yes, he got track position, and yes, he got in front of a guy, and he had a good battle, and it was great for us to watch. But it meant that he was 2 laps less to get back to the front after he pitted. There was no way he was getting to the end of those tires. He needed new tires. He needed to pit, and they said that they needed, let's say, 15 laps to get back to fight.
Everything about the team is hesitant, nervous. 100%, pit stops, basic stuff. You should be nailing that. These guys.
It's that culture of winning and that confidence in their own ability. They had it.
I'm worried for Charles. I'm really worried for him. This is going to hurt him confidence-wise, like it was hurting Sainz. But this is worse because Charles seemed like he had this wrapped up at the beginning of the season. Literally, he was in charge of everything, wasn't he? You know.
But one swallow doesn't make a summer. Right?
I don't know where you're going on that chair. It's just hilarious.
I'm not on a chair. I'm sitting on a bed that's really uncomfortable. I'm moving the laptop. It's on a cushion on my lap.
Okay, so what about Alonso? Another solid race from Alonso.
That cushion, look at that.
Whoa. Another solid race from Alonso.
Yeah, he was pretty. I think Alpine.
He's loving it. What did he say? He said something on the radio that was quite funny. He said, "Well, if they're going to come after it or something, they've got to take." There was something he said. It was quite funny. Made me laugh anyway, because he just doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck kind of guy.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself.
Yeah,
and I think you can see the difference in people that are enjoying themselves. The people that are in teams that are enjoying themselves. Valtteri Bottas is enjoying himself, you know, and he's out driving the car, you know.
That hat, I couldn't believe that hat. But as soon as he come on, I thought, what the hell?
Mercedes would never have allowed him to do that.
That hat was awesome. I thought, wow, you really are comfortable. Lando Norris again, another solid McLaren result for him. It's kind of getting a bit boring.
And now the traction behind Danny Rick isn't a bad driver. It's just that Lando's really good and the car's mediocre. That's gaining a lot of traction. You know, that the McLaren
and the driving style thing. We talked about this. The driving style. What do you think? Now, there's been a lot of videos online that have really gone into this. I think there's something else about if Norris has been there a long time, a little bit longer than my friend Danny Rick, and he drives one way. The car's gonna on an evolutionary basis end up like the way he drives it.
Right, so there was a lot of that chat about Alex Albon and Max Verstappen, right? And then Sergio Perez gets in the car. He's knocking it out of the park. Is it adaptability? Is it being able to communicate your driving style to the mechanics? Is it about it just happens to fit his setup?
Do you think it's a bit of an excuse? Like a lot of the pundits go like, Danny Rick likes a stable car going into the corner. He likes a lot of front end and not back or whatever. Whereas Norris is more comfortable with it being a bit more wiggly, but when he's going into a corner, lots of like over analysing it when the guy's just not on the form. I don't know. Half of me thinks, yes, I get what you're saying. He's a different type of driver. And the other half of me thinks, are we just because we like the guy?
So in answer to our viewers' question, because we like viewers'
that's why I'm trying to, I really want to get my head around this. And I've watched so many videos because of that question. And it's all points towards driver style. For me, that doesn't make sense. It makes sense.
Well, it kind of does. I didn't realize this. I watched a couple of videos as well on it, but I didn't realize that they can alter the ratio in the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount you move the wheel, Lando, for example, you know, he moves at X amount and it moves Y amount on the wheels, right?
Yeah.
Danny has to move at X plus 4 to get it to move the same as Lando does. But he prefers that. So he has to physically move the steering wheel more to get the same motion out of the front wheels.
Who's doing that?
Danny Rick.
Economy of motion? Can he not? I don't know.
How much is it? How much difference is it? I mean, it's got to be minuscule. But it must make
it's milliseconds, isn't
heavier. So what?
Well, it adds up to tenths of seconds, doesn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
And more energy lost.
Well, is it? It's not.
Well, you're moving more. If you're moving
more or less, it's not moving the car's wheels any more or less. It's just moving the steering wheel.
Yeah, but you're moving more.
So why is that energy lost out of the car?
No, it's energy lost out of you as a driver.
Right, so Danny getting tired a bit more.
Well, yeah, you're doing a lot more movement.
That doesn't affect. I wouldn't think that affects him. I think he's fit enough, he's athletic enough to be able to to not have to suffer that.
Yeah, I would have won, but I just had to move it. I can't do it.
My arms were too tired.
I was reaching there. I'll be honest, I was reaching.
Sound like you to give reach arounds.
Hey.
Keep it clean.
There's another story about that. Okay, so Esteban Ocon, how are we going with him? What do we think of his race?
Solid, and he's middle of the pack. It's good to see that battle between Alpine and McLaren.
Yeah.
Alpine have come from behind, really, and they're starting to carve out just from solid performances. I think Ocon is, part of that. Fernando's a bit crazy. He's putting a lot of risk in there. He's taking chances. Esteban is just going, yeah, I'm going to be solid. I'm going to bring it home safe every time.
Yeah, it's good. That's a tight little team going on there, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
I think that might be something to do with Otmar coming in, because he, I think he works well with teams like that. He worked well with Racing Point. He built the team to give the drivers the confidence. He got everybody working well together with limited resources, and he got them in the mix and with a chance of getting on the podium.
Good. And who was it? Who else we've got? Lance Stroll, Aston Martin. What's going on?
Why were they fighting each other? Why were they fighting each other last quarter?
I saw that at the start as well. They were all over each other.
Yeah.
And it was like
a bit of bargy going on there. Was it because Seb got to drive that nice 100-year-old car and Daddy wouldn't let Lance?
Yes, Daddy.
That's because Seb's just crushing it on every level at the moment in life.
Seb looked a lot cooler as well, didn't he?
Seb's looking cooler. He didn't have his haircut, like I said previously, but he's looking cooler. He's getting to play, yeah. But yeah, it was all right. So what about?
It's a bit awkward with him and Johnny Herbert crushed up in that car together. They could have put somebody a bit skinnier in them.
Oh yeah, lost the hat. Didn't he lose the hat or something?
Johnny Herbert did, yeah.
Yeah. And what about AlphaTauri? Seems a bit lost, don't they?
Yeah.
AlphaTauri seems all over the show.
Well. Yeah. Pierre Gasly did really well, getting back in the mix. And then he spun, I think, or something, didn't he? And he ended up at the back again. Him and Carlos were chopping through everybody. And then ended up, he just lost it and ended up at the back again.
Alex Albon there.
Williams did all right, I think. Latifi did good. Latifi made it into Q2, I think, didn't he?
Did he? I don't know, actually. I couldn't tell you that off the top of my head, sir. Bottas 14th, only 14th.
Albon qualified in. Oh no, Latifi was in Q1. Yeah, he was out in Q1.
Oh, seriously, it's just a bit of a great qualifying, but bad race for Haas.
Yep.
Terrible race, great qualifying.
That's the problem they've got at the moment, isn't it?
There's a lot of the teams that were like right up there at the start of the season now, like AlphaTauri and a bit like Alfa Romeo. I think it must be something that don't have Alpha in the name.
Yes, Wayne, that's correct.
If you've got Alpha in the name of your team, you're doomed.
Or it could be that they started developing their cars and had more wind tunnel time and development time than the other teams, so we're a bit of a jump ahead and everyone's now catching up.
I see. That's why that was my second choice. Yeah.
One will go for comedy, two will go for the truth. All right.
Yeah. It's a shame about the Haas because it seems like Mickey Schumacher has really got the mojo going now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's popping into Q2, Q3, stuff like that.
And that's good, he's got
it's like he's got that points thing was, and I know it's the monkey off your back idiom, but it is. Once you've got that.
I know you don't like things like that.
I don't like an idiom. Anyway, Tsunoda, terrible. He got knocked out though, didn't he? He got knocked out. It wasn't his fault. Yeah. So I think we've gone through all. Joe Guan Yu.
I
I always struggle with that name.
Just call
Because
him Joe.
I see the letters, and they're not. It's not what comes out of the mouth, is it? It's just. Yeah, he didn't have a good race either, did he?
No, he didn't, unfortunately. He's, we'll see what happens down the line.
First season.
He's not doing bad for a rookie. Come on.
Yeah, he isn't doing bad, considering he was upside down a couple of races ago. Now he's all right.
Yeah. While we're still on good race, bad race, something was brought to note over the weekend where microphone was left on.
Oh no.
And one commentator was heard to be critiquing a fellow commentator.
Oh no.
Basically, Paul di Resta, his mic was left on, and when David Coulthard was doing the podium interviews, he was heard to say, "Come on, David, stop talking now. We don't want to hear you talking anymore," or words to that effect. I'm paraphrasing slightly, but it was basically the gist of that. Right.
Well,
Luckily,
that's not nowhere near as bad as what I had in my head.
Well, so this brings up the question. Sky's F1 coverage, they rotate their pundits in and out, and they rotate their journalists in and out.
Yeah.
And there's definitely ones that are better than the others. You talked about Nico Rosberg. I apologize, Nico, if you're listening, for forgetting your name earlier. I know you're a big fan, but he's been there, done it. He asks the difficult questions. He challenges people. Paul di Resta, how many Grand Prix did he start? I don't think he ever won. Johnny Herbert.
He's never won. Johnny Herbert's
a loving kind of goofball, and he's won a few races. Same as Martin Brundle. He's crashed spectacularly. He's been in a few races. He's been, he's a contender.
I'm pretty sure Martin Brundle hasn't won a Formula 1 race. Oh,
really? I think he has. I think he's won.
Not Brundle.
No.
I don't know. Maybe for when he in the last sort of no, not for the Jordan team. Are you googling it as well?
Yeah. You look up Paul di Resta, I'll do Martin Brundle.
Paul di Resta's never won one. I know that. Paul di Resta has never won one. Paul di Resta. Wikipedia.
Oh no, never won. No, he's never won.
But he's been, and I think Brundle's one of those people who's just been either unlucky or lucky in teams. Driven from McLaren, I think, or was offered from McLaren, driven for lots of high-profile teams, and it's like always been the bridesmaid sort of thing. So karting career, racing record, Formula 1. Let's have a look. No way. He did half Force India.
Who are you talking about? Paul di Resta?
Paul di Resta. So Formula 1. He was Force India for the whole time he was in Formula 1. He was a test driver for 1 year, and then he was in the team 13th for. Let's just quickly see what the wins. I don't know why I'm even scrolling back up here. I know he's never won a race. No, never won a F1 race. Any podiums? Poles? None. Fastest laps podiums.
Brundle was third a couple of times, so he made it on the podium.
Yeah. No, Paul di Resta, I'll be honest, he did show good promise. He was a top tenner, but I don't know. The hot mic thing with the I've read before that that Paul di Resta doesn't get a good coverage from other people. Paul di Resta for his punditry, but you do need. I don't know. That's a tough one because you do need someone who's driven within the decade. I mean,
Johnny Herbert won 3.
Johnny Herbert was a good little driver. He was talented. He won a British Grand Prix as well, which is to win your home race.
I think
Johnny Herbert was very unlucky. He lost. He had both his legs broken in a race, and that put him way behind. Yeah, but a terrible crash, Johnny Herbert. Terrible crash. Previous to Formula 1.
I think Damon Hill, he's a bit of an airhead. I think Karun Chandok is a good combination of race driver and journalist. I think he talks some sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what his racing history is, but
Not good. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, but he's got that journalistic mindset to him. Paul
I mean,
Resta,
I like David Coulthard, but I've heard some stories about that man.
Yeah, but we're not talking about whether he's going to marry your daughter or what. You know,
No, he's not.
On a race.
I'll kill him.
Yeah. You'll kill anyone.
No. But what I mean is,
I think I can hear Murray.
What I mean is, when you hear those stories about them, you can see while there would be some kind of animosity amongst the punditry. You know, it's like because he's not Mr. Clean on camera. He's off camera. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's but yeah. Should we go to pit talk?
Yes.
We've got 1 minute, but was anything else you want to say about the Paul Resta thing?
No, it's just who do you?
I'll tell you, as a pundit, who I do quite like is Jolene Palmer. I do.
Yeah,
he's someone who never made it as a driver. Probably knew that he wasn't as good but his dad was not that good either. Bless him.
Who, Arnold?
Jolene Palmer's dad was Jonathan Palmer.
Oh, I thought it was Arnold Palmer. He was a good driver.
Oh, Jonathan Palmer.
Very good at putting.
Okay, so on that bombshell, shall we go to pit talk? Okay.
Yeah.
Pit talk. Let's have a bit of pit talk.
All right, so last year was pretty full of arguments between Toto and Christian. Well, he said, she said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, it's carried on into this season, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But it is interesting. It does create a lot of interest. It creates a lot of headlines.
Yeah.
So the two things we're going to talk about today are both related with Mercedes and Red Bull. And their arguments with the FIA about different subjects. Now, the first one is something we were talking about earlier, that apparently the reason that George got the jump on Sergio was that Sergio didn't have the right VSC data. He didn't have the virtual safety car data. And, that's supplied by the FIA. Now, they had to reset it in the FIA's booth, which on Sergio's display in the car meant that he was given the wrong delta. So he didn't get the same information that everyone else had for some reason. Either George was getting fed by Mercedes, like a teamwork thing that we discussed earlier. Or but he did, there was different information given to the drivers by the FIA, which is wrong. And Christian has said that they should maybe explore that because there was a podium involved and there's quite a big difference in points with the places and stuff like that. So that relaying of the information was what gave George the jump on Sergio, and Christian is saying that it should be investigated. Partly trying to get the podium rescinded or investigated at least, but partly saying that it shouldn't happen in the future. If they've got an issue where they have to reset something, then it should be reset across the board and everyone should get the same information.
Right. What needed to be reset? Sorry, was it there on their side or on the FIA side?
The virtual safety car, it limits everyone to 40% of power, and it means that they have to maintain the delta, the time difference between the car in front. And
that sounds like one of those impossible tasks.
It's not. It's a computer, but it just says, right, boom, you are 6 seconds behind the car in front. You have to stay within 1 second of that 6 seconds between these points.
Right, okay.
So they measure it as it goes round.
And so on the dashboard, it will have the time?
Yeah, it gives you the delta. You either need to speed up or you need to slow down. And you hear the engineers come over sometimes going, delta, and that's to tell them to look at the delta and just the difference between them and the car in front. So there was with the information that was getting fed over the virtual safety car. Obviously, with the real safety car, it all bunches up. But with the virtual safety car, they maintain the gap to the car in front.
That obviously doesn't really. I mean, we've seen this quite a lot with the virtual safety car, that somehow someone's always getting closer.
Else, yeah.
And so, and what repeat Red Bull's objection is because they had to reset something.
The FIA reset something because they had an issue, and it didn't, which meant that Sergio was getting different information to what George was getting.
It just sounds like just one of those things, you know.
It's now, what day is it now? Wednesday?
Yeah.
And this was just reported. Oh no, it was a Monday article.
Yeah.
It was an article on Monday. So, but he didn't mention anything about it on the TV that I saw or in the wash up or anything like that, so it couldn't have been that prominent. Maybe it's just clickbait, and it's more of they need to look at this going forward rather than an actual complaint about the podium.
I do find, again, the team principals moaning still, not so much over the radio this time, but still a lot of moaning. And we had this with the track limits last time. Just everybody just bitching at the FIA. And at some point, you just get on with your racing.
Playing devil's advocate, though, the FIA are imposing rules that have been there for years. You know what I mean? They're...
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. The track limit thing gets me.
Did you notice the amount of jewellery that Lewis Hamilton was wearing?
Didn't notice.
Yeah, because it wasn't shiny because there was nothing there. He had a nose ring out.
I did read an article that Lewis was keeping his face mask, and I thought, is that covering up his nose?
No, there was some of the interviews you could see that there was nothing.
But then the last race, that was the other thing that I noticed as well. They keep cutting out the chat in the cooldown room, and that is one of the best things. That's one of the best. First, they told him to stop swearing, and I just think, oh, for God's sake, I don't know. It just
bleep that out, right? But don't edit the content.
Their content and the way they interact with each other about what's happened, because that's like when they're stood in front of the screen watching some of it. That's the first time they've seen it, and they go, "All right," and they're chatting away.
It gets you to see their personalities and how they interact with each other, and
that's what makes people like Formula One drivers. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't understand why they have to keep doing it, like blanking it out, like it's the Big Brother house. You remember the Big Brother house? They just put birds.
This week in the Big Brother house.
They start talking, and it's just be birds tweeting, and it's just like, no, we want to hear this. This is what makes them personalities, and this is where they tell each other what was going on with them.
Peer to peer.
Yeah, and old Lewis as well. No water.
Well, a lot of the drivers don't use their water bottles this season because of the weight. A lot of the teams haven't put them in because of the cars are so overweight. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, just
when you're out.
yeah, you'll get a drink when you finish. Okay.
Yeah.
And Lewis actually did make a point. I don't usually drink actually, but it was the first time I wanted to use it, and it would work. Yeah. And he was like really thirsty. But again, the clickbait on that was Lewis Hamilton collapses, and it's not. He just got on the ground.
Yeah, he lay on the floor because those stools don't look the comfiest, do they?
Yeah, there wasn't even a comfy cool-down room. It was a big tent.
There's so much clickbait about Lewis this week. When Nick De Vries had the session in FP1, Lewis Hamilton banned from French Grand Prix. No,
I'm pretty sure I saw him there.
In a little known rule. It's not a little known rule if you follow it. It's just they're giving junior drivers a chance, everyone knew it was happening.
Yeah, it's just the media.
Yeah. Right. So the second part of Pit Talk, that we talk about, again relating to Red Bull and Mercedes. Well, sorry, Red Bull and other teams. Mercedes. Again, it goes down to the FIA imposing the safety regulations for porpoising, right? There was no porpoising over this weekend, right? There was absolutely zero porpoising. So the FIA, their safety directive that they're bringing in means that the car has to have a minimum ride height of 25 millimeters off the ground, right?
Right.
And that's to stop porpoising. That's to stop it bottoming out. Now, great if you're Mercedes, because then everybody's sitting at 25 mil. They've all got the same issue. And they've all got the same reduced downforce. And they've all got the same potential effect on their efficiency. Right, Red Bull you've never seen porpoising in a Red Bull car, have you?
No.
Raising that
so they're being penalised for being that.
Yeah, exactly. Raising that ride height by 25 mil is penalising them. They've designed the car well, and they're getting penalised, which is what Christian Horner's argument is. Other teams haven't designed the car well, and they're going to benefit from this 25 mil limit. And he's saying that it's not a safety issue, it's a design issue. You've not designed the car properly.
Because if all the cars were doing it,
you can lift the car if you want, right? And it'll be safe for the driver. That's not for the FIA to determine. That is your team's choice to set the car up like that and cause that issue. You can set the car up with a minimum ride height of 25 mil. You won't have porpoising. Good on you. We don't get porpoising. We can set ours up whatever we want, is his point of view.
Yeah.
But the FIA are insisting that they're going to stick with the 25 mil. But I think there's other things in play there about the disappearing floor and different plungers that are holding the plank in place and making the floor flex at different points. Really hard to show that flexing on this virtual background.
Especially when your arms keep vanishing,
yeah. Woo-hoo. Right.
Well, this is the thing that teams get round and have done historically anyway. There used to be when the original ground effect cars came in. They had skirts as well. They had skirts which literally sucked them to the ground. They had a ride height limit in the end anyway to solve a problem. And what the teams would do, there'd be some mechanism within the car. So when they're pulling in, they just the car just went so when they come to be measured, they're all at the correct height. But it was just like this little gas thing that the drivers.
Have you noticed the dots on the spoilers?
No.
On the back of the car. See if you can find an image of a car from last weekend while I'm talking.
Go on. Keep talking, Sam. Keep talking.
Because the FIA have, and I get this, because last year they set the gap in the DRS to whatever it was, and they had to put a spacer through it, right? But what was happening was they were making the wing either flexible or rigid, too rigid or too flexible.
Yeah.
It was flexing while it was under load.
Yeah.
And it was, or not, it was doing something that he shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
They couldn't prove it in any way. So now what they've done is they're keeping the feeds, and they've put white dots on the spoilers.
Okay.
On all the spoilers, if you look, there's white dots at certain points at the extremities and where the DRS mechanism is. And they're measuring the distance between those dots all through the race, and those have to be the same height all the time.
I've got an image here. I wonder if you could talk me through it, actually, if I can bring it up. I can't see a red dot thing going on, but these are by that same artist, actually, that you've already often used.
If it's an artistic impression, it might not show the dots. It needs to
Doesn't
be
show the dots, but let's just have a look. Oh, no, hang on. I'm not even bothering. It just says, I just read it, Spa 2020. Forget it. But they solved something here. Let's have a look. I don't know where the red dots. Did you say red dots or white dots?
It depends on the color of the car.
2022 wing. Okay. Let's have a look. I think I've got a picture here. Hey, I'll save it. Jazz. Save, right. Okay. Let's have a look at this image here. Maybe this will give us an insight into what we're talking about. Here, getting a bit faster at this. Multi-screening stuff. Let's have a look. Now, what can we see here? There's some dots going on here. The test.
That's it. There you go.
Right. Which dots are we
those
talking?
Those white circles.
Yeah. Let me just get my pen. I like to draw on things here. These, which ones? Which circles are we looking at?
Either any of them. The white
this one
circles,
here. This one.
Yep. That one.
Yeah.
And the one below it, and the one below that, and the one below that.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Let's first of all, I've got 2 pens on the go here. Let's just so this one here.
Yeah.
And this one here.
Yep.
And maybe this one here.
Yep. And then and the same on the one below.
On the race one, yeah. That dot there and that dot there, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's one underneath that, so that when that DRS flap opens, so it pivots up the way.
Yeah.
And as it opens, you can still see the white dot on the top and the white dot underneath that wing. And they basically, using the camera, you can see the on the T bar on the top of the car. Yeah. There's a camera there that the FIA has access to, and it looks backwards and it measures those dots. The distance between the dots it measures. So you can imagine some computer just capturing those dots. The scale, they know the distance between it, they know the scale, they've got reference points.
Yeah.
If those two gaps diverge too much, then they know that there's some jiggery pokery going on. And they're in different places on the car now as well.
Yeah, what, the dots?
These kind of reference points, yeah.
There's another one here, look.
There's one there.
There's another one there.
That's on the lower wing as well. So that could be pushed down, but there's a certain amount of flex allowed in all the components. So that's how they get around it in the race, because during the race they can watch those points and see if they flex or not.
Yeah. I'm interested in these little dots here.
Yeah.
It's all for a purpose, a purpose, not but a purpose to monitor stuff, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just this is a bit bigger. Isn't it? These must be special cameras for testing, because look, they're not there then. It's all very interesting, isn't it?
I reckon that's an aero option that they've got there for bringing
my mouse.
Yeah.
Button. That one there.
Those kind of ears, yeah. That's directing air either into or under the wing, that overhead, the DRS wing.
Right.
That back spoiler. They've obviously been found not to work, so they've taken them off.
Well, it's all very interesting, but this is a different shape here as well. It looks like a different...
But it makes it fairer. It means that it's very different. It depends what aero package they're running as well. Whether it's a high downforce or low downforce. I'd say the top one was higher downforce.
Yeah.
Got more surface area on it.
With our limited knowledge of...
Yep.
Right. Let's stop sharing that.
Well, there we go. That's pit talk.
That is pit talk. Now it's time to move on to predictions. We've got to add up our points, and then
now we're going to do predictions for Hungary.
Hungary, you're going to get the race up. You get the race up. I'll get the points going here. So you get the race up, then fast as that car, and all our results, we're going to need the results.
Yeah, they come in handy.
They do come in handy because things like...
You can remember how well I'm letting you beat me.
Yeah, of course it is.
Uh-huh.
So let's put this up here. We're going to do our points and then focus on there. Let us now Share the screen. Boom. Let's get my annotated pen. Format. Let's get all these things out of the way here. Let's just move that out of the way. Okay. I've got my pen on there. Here we go. Here we go. So let's add up some points. Let's do yours first. Who did you have pole? Leclerc? Leclerc was on pole, wasn't he? So you got a point for Leclerc. Point for Leclerc. Fastest lap time, sir.
Now that you, I need that one. The fastest lap was Carlos Sainz.
Yeah. So there's nothing for us to there.
A time of 1 minute 35.
Go on.
781.
So well done for you, sir. Not for me. I'm a second off pace. Second off pace. I didn't get pole, so that's not for me.
Wow. He got fastest lap by 2 seconds. That's pretty impressive.
He must have known what your lap time was. Well done.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you. Okay, so who won this race, sir? We know
Max.
it was Max.
Verstappen.
So you get 1 point. You get 1 point for these. You've got the top 3 in the wrong order there, sir. You went for Hamilton as well to win it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't think you did. Leclerc, Sainz. What place did he get?
Sainz was 5th.
2 points. Well done.
Yeah.
Alonso.
6th.
6th.
Yeah.
Okay, Perez. You got a point.
4th.
You've got quite a good haul here, haven't you? Go on. What was your next? What about Norris? Where is he?
Norris was 7th. Sorry, I'm looking at I've only got one screen. I'm looking at the.
Okay, sorry.
Dog.
How about Ricardo? He didn't get any points, did he?
Yep, he was 9th.
No way. Look at this points for you here.
Yep.
And Bottas, no.
No.
Okay. So your points for this race are just going to try and move. Oh, just every time I go up there, it wants to do that. I'm trying to move this out of the way more. Let's move this out of the way over here. Your points are, sir, after we stop this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. You get 13 points for that race. Okay. So I get 1 point for the goat, 1 point for Verstappen, nothing for Leclerc. Where did Russell come third, didn't he? Yes. Yeah, so
he was podium. 1
point. Sainz, I get 2 points. Norris, where did he come?
Sorry.
7th, wasn't it?
7th, yep, for Lando.
1 point for him. Nothing for Magnussen. Nothing for Schumacher. Nothing for Bottas. Oh, I've had a shocker. This could be it. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Wow. Yeah. That's a big haul of points for you, young man. So 89 plus 13 is 92, 102, 102. And you are back in the game here, sir. And I'm 110. That is a good race for you, young man.
Yeah.
That is a good
race.
Hang of this. You are getting the hang of this now. So now I need to get rid of this pen.
Well, you're clear and all that.
Yeah.
Still talk about Hungary.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to try and pronounce the full name of this because it's a Formula One Aramco Magyar Nagyedij 2022. It's at the Hungaroring, which was first used for a Grand Prix in 1986. There will be 70 laps, circuit length of 4.381 kilometers, and a race distance of 306.63 kilometers.
I'm really struggling to clear all this pen mark now I've put on all over everything.
There is only one DRS zone.
Only one DRS?
Yeah, one DRS zone, and the lap record is 1 minute 16.627, and that's held by. You want to guess?
What year?
2020.
2020. It's going to be. Oh, Hungaroring. I don't know. I'd say Hamilton. Yeah, it's Hamilton, and it's gonna. Oh, jeez.
What are you doing, man?
I'm trying to get. This is the best way to do it. Trying to get rid of all the pen mark I've put on it now. Hang on.
Can't you just?
I don't.
Why don't you just create a new document every week?
Because that would be too simple. I could do it right now. I can make a new document. Shall I make a do? Hang on. Let's do it here. Let's see what happens if I open this document. That document's got all pen on it. That's just. It's getting rid of the pen marks on it. It's a nightmare. Right. I think it's because. Hold on. Let me stop sharing. Why is this so difficult? Let me shut this.
Not like you've not had a few attempts at it.
Okay. I know. Do you know what it is? It's not. What was our points?
You should just save one of these as a template, and then open that every week.
What were your points, sir? So it's the pen, right? Is on.
Your pen's on the screen for some reason.
I know.
Did you use a real pen, Wayne? Not a virtual pen.
Let's use the eraser. Okay.
Have you been writing on the actual screen?
So I'm 110. What was your score?
104.
Okay. You're in 6 points. Here we go. It's all coming off now. It's all coming off. Right.
Yeah, but it's a shame that I've finished all the filler topics.
I'm sorry, people. It's my utter incompetence with technology.
Lucky people aren't paying for this.
Okay, now how do I?
I do like coffee though. If anybody fancies buying me a coffee.
Yeah, no one even. Okay.
No one listens to it, mate. That's the first issue.
The first issue is we've got absolutely zero listeners.
Buy us a coffee.
Let's clear this off. Let's clear all these fellas off, right? Am I still sharing? Yes, I am. Let's clear everybody off. Okay. Everybody's off. Okay. Okay, clear that. Clear out the way, Norris. Out you go. Come on, out the way. We've got plenty of time. There's no hurry here, is there?
Yeah, we can edit this out.
We can edit this out if we so do want to. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just you could just. All right. And that driving me insane. Right. Let's get rid of that name, Verstappen. And then we go here. What's the fastest lap time, sir?
All right, we're back. Hello.
Yeah, I'm just clearing.
Are you still clearing?
I'm still clearing the names.
When you need the information.
Yeah, what's the fastest lap time?
Are we ready now?
I'm ready now. I'm ready for you to do your fastest lap time.
1 minute, 16.627 by Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, so what's your guess?
I reckon 119.524.
119.5224. Okay, and who do you want to go get? Who do you think is going to be on pole?
That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. Paul, who do you think? You do your lap time. Well,
yeah, while you're thinking about it, I'm going 1:18.764. I think it's going to be a bit slower.
Right, okay.
A bit faster, even slower. Pole. Who are you going to go for pole, sir? It's tricky, isn't it? Is Leclerc going to?
I think Charles is going to get another pole.
You think so? You think he's going to get back to his best?
Yep. I think Ferrari definitely have the car for Saturday.
You think? And fastest lap time?
It's going to be Perez, I reckon.
Perez. Okay. I don't know whether Perez seems to be a bit lost at the moment, doesn't he? Okay, so my fast.
He was fourth. How's that lost?
Lost, not last.
Yeah, but how's that lost?
I'm going to go pole. I feel like I want to go the GOAT. I'm going to go the GOAT. I think I'm going to go lap time. Oh, I'm going to go science. I think he's a bit between his teeth. and I've done the lap time. Yeah, I think fastest lap science. Okay. So now it's time to start moving these fellas around a bit. Right. Okay. You want to go first, sir?
All right, Max is first.
You reckon Max? It just seems very cool, calm, collected. Number one for Max for you.
All right, Charles second. Perez third.
Oh, slow down, sir. Slow down. Right. Charles second.
Yeah, Perez left.
Perez third.
And then I'm going to have Russell 4, Carlos 5.
You got Science. Where's Science? Where are they?
Left, up top left. There you go. Then I think
No
Hamilton.
No go. Hamilton. Yep. Sixth.
Then Lando.
And where is that fella?
Left, down.
There he is. Okay, Lando.
Then Ocon.
Do you know I need some new glasses? Ocon.
Top right.
There we
Top
go.
left.
Here we go.
Then I think we're gonna have where is he? Fernando.
Yeah, he's solid, isn't he? In that.
Yeah.
So you think Ocon's gonna get ahead of Lando?
Yeah. And then Danny Rick. Yeah. Ocon won last year at this course.
Danny Rick, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I just think I'm gonna keep. This could be my downfall for the season. Put the goat there. Goat number one. I'm gonna put Lewis Hamilton number one. Number two, I'm going Verstappen. Number three, Sainz.
Ooh,
Number
Carlos on
four,
podium.
Russell. Number five, where's Leclerc now? Have we got another Leclerc here? I can't. Oh, there he is. Number five. Just don't understand the flag system's going on. Leclerc. Number six. Who should I go for in number six?
Gasly.
Gasly might have a resurgence. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that. If I get 2 points for that, Perez is going to have a dodgy race. Now here it comes. Where is Fernando? Have I got another Fernando? Have I got to produce one? I can't see another Fernando. Can you? No. No. I'm going to have to produce one.
Why have we got this far through this and never needed two Fernando Alonso's?
I've just produced another Perez. I don't need any more. No one needs any more Perez's. What's going on there? Right. Come on, see. The technical issues here, people. It's just terrible. Fernando's eighth. But Schumacher ninth. And because I can't see where my lovely K-Mag is on here, he's losing out. He'll get in the top 10 now, won't he? I can't see where the K-Mag's gone. So
what have you done with them?
I don't know what's going on here.
What's happened to the topless picture?
I don't know. I feel like I should just nip back to France quickly. Oh, well, forget it. Right, so I'll only accidentally erase everything, won't I? So, who am I going to put? I'm not going Danny Rick. Norris, I haven't put Norris 10th, okay? And what we need to do is draw on this our points with this pen here, okay? And our points were, what was yours? He says, again, trying to draw. What was your points? 104.
I was on 104.
104. And I'm on 120, was it?
110, my friend.
110. There we go. That's our prediction. So I've got the GOAT to win, Verstappen second, Sainz third, Russell fourth, Leclerc fifth, Gasly sixth, Perez seventh, Alonso eighth, Magnussen ninth, and Bottas, Norris 10th. I don't know why you've gone with Ricardo here. I can tell you now, this guy is dead. I'm going to put that little cross there.
Yeah.
He's over. It's over
if he
for
gets
this
points,
guy.
I get 2 points then because he's come back from the dead and 1 point.
Yeah, performed some kind of miracle And yeah,
So one of the holy tricks.
we're saving this live on air here. So Austria, yeah.
Why are you doing Austria? It's
Hungary. That's why. Do you know what? I've had Austria in my head.
What are you? Oh,
Hungary. What? What's the matter? I've saved it now. It's saved.
All right, cool.
The technical wizardry.
You know where
that
it's saved, though?
That
Do you
is
know where
predictions. It's on the desktop. I can see it right here.
Right, okay.
Okay, and then I'll sort it all out. We've got. But the thing is, it's all recorded, isn't it? So I can just go back and reconstruct it. But
Not an efficient use of time. If I was your manager, I'd words to say.
yeah, well, just like moving that steering wheel, just
Right, on that bombshell.
on that bombshell, people. This has been the F1 Show podcast, and we'll see you next week.